when I meet Gorbachev, what am I going to say to him? Because someone's got to stand up to Gorbachev. Have we gone through 20 minutes already? No.
No, you got 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. All right. When I meet Gorbachev, what am I going to say to him? I'm going to say, Здравствуйте, товарищ. Ах, как хорошо, был бы знать английский язык. I was going to have a big rap in Russian for you, but there's no time. What did I just say? Hello, comrade. Hello, comrade. How nice it is to speak in the English language. So if I speak to the Russian people, I'm talking to them in impeccable Russian. One time I was sitting in a restaurant in Saigon, and this guy says to me, Michael, you're from China. I says, oh, no, I'm from the United States. He says, oh, I see in your eye, you're from China. My eyes are open. I see you. Okay. Chunko Yan. So I could talk Mandarin, too. Now, I want to do the hat trick. Okay, the hat trick. Where's the sheet of paper that I need? Where's that yellow paper? There it is. All right. This is just a hat, folks. You see, I got the same hairline as Gorbachev. Okay, my name is Michael, Mikhail in Hebrew. Same name as his. That don't hurt. All right, this is just a regular hat, right? Okay, the hat trick. This is for talking to the Ayatollah. How interesting, huh? Change the whole form. I think I'll just leave it on here for a few minutes. In 1980, I was a writing candidate for president. I had a good scheme. I figured if I could get the hostages back, of course I would get elected president. So I've changed the dates in this. But were I talking to the Ayatollah now, I would say to him, Machastori Girugan Hahastim. I took this off the tape before we did the program, which translates, all we ask is return of our own. Now, I'm just going to read this Farsi to you. I'm going to read this Farsi to you, and, oh, am I in focus now? Okay. I'm going to read this, good. I'm going to read this Farsi. I'm sorry, she should say, push him back. Okay. Machastori Girugan Hahastim. The Shah Bochada asked. Mon Payom Bari Sohan, 1988. Choda Shala Bachohat Gardud Se Pas Bot Shela Shala Chohunt Kusht. Choda Bat She Hara Bebehesht Chohad Philistad. Se Pas Shah Bach Chohat Gesht Bazamin Barayeh Madomah Iran. Now, I had that in my head in 1980. I didn't have to look at a piece of paper. What did I say? I said that all we ask is return of our own. I said that the Shah is with God. You remember Savak? Savak, a kid would go outside and say, down with the Shah, and he would be arrested. He would be arrested that night, and they never see him again. The Savak was trained by American people. The Shah secret police, they murdered at least the Amnesty International said 40,000. Okay. So you know the Shah's secret police was Savak. What I just said was that all we ask is return of our own. The Shah is with God. If you give me the hostages, the American people are going to elect me president in 1988. If I am elected president of USA in 1988, world peace comes in 1990. You got that? World peace comes. After world peace comes, God is going to make the resurrection. And when God makes the resurrection, all the children that were murdered by Savak shall be returned to their families here on the earth. And the Shah shall be returned to the Iranian people, and would they love to have him? You like that, huh? Where do I get that information? I wrote this book because I was on a ship 40 days and 40 nights. The whole sky opened up. It's not the first time in this lifetime. It's not the first time I've had this kind of experience in the lives that I've lived in this world. But yes, I was there. And the story of Jesus is a story I tell. Were it not for Jesus, the crosswalker who walked across for all of us, I could never be here. So that invite me into your church, I'll preach a sermon. I preach the laws of Moses, lay preacher. So now we've done the languages. Well, let's see. I think I've given you a good thing. I support the 75 cents, no questions asked abortion on demand. Midwives. Those who cry out the loudest against abortion, they are the ones who were aborted in a previous life. And the experience is stamped in their character. They hear the word abortion and they freak out. What about the guard that stood at the gates of Auschwitz, and every time a 6-year-old kid went by who was too old to be a medical experiment and too young to be a worker, that the guard kicked him and said, have a shower and then have a good life? Maybe God has a program for that guard's soul, that he should be aborted 1,000 times over. God decides who is conceived, who is born, who is unborn, who is aborted. Everything that ever happened in the world happened for a reason. What happens next? God only knows. Wimp, where are you, wimp? Someone's going to put their hand on a Bible and take an oath to defend our liberties. I seek to take an oath of office and defend the rights of a Vietnamese girl orphaned at birth on a Coast Guard cutter 12 miles off the coast in the South China Sea, that when she grows up, that she can do as I am doing, stand for public office. Because like me, she was born in the USA. So that someone's going to put their hand on a Bible and take an oath of office. They should. I've never taken the Lord's name in vain in at least 20 years. No one's ever heard me say that. But what I have said is this: don't take the Lord's name in vain or in aim, because God don't give any damns. And besides, he could care less. So these words, I never put those words together the way other people do. I would never say that. God forbid. So that somebody wants to be the president. Let's do education, all right? The world needs a center of learning. The world doesn't have a center of learning. So we need to get on top of what's going on with the world's ecology. Okay, so we build a beautiful center of learning. We bring all the information from all over the world, what's being researched here, what's being researched there. Then we're on top of things. Now, at the same place, you bring 10 teachers. Every school system, every school, every city, every town has one extraordinary teacher. You bring all these teachers to one place. So you got 10 teachers for English, 7th grade, 10 teachers for general science, 5th grade, 10 for everything. And then you put live, giant, holographic screens in every schoolroom in America. And now the best teachers are teaching on live television, and it gets to be recorded. And the teacher in the classroom doesn't have to face the students the way I'm facing you. They're there, they're a monitor, they're helping the faster ones get better, they're helping the slower ones to catch up. They don't have to do lesson plans, their work is easier, and the best teacher available is available. The poorest will be with the best. This raises the level by using our technology. Every school system will have the best teachers, and the PTAs will pick which ones they want. So that's education, and that's what we need to do in this country. And the Center of Learning, it'll pay for itself because all the other countries will contribute because they want to draw the information from it like all of us, research into whatever it is. So that's education. Trade relations with the Japanese. Trade relations with the Japanese. My plan is to sell them Hawaii for $1 trillion yen. Okay, it's that simple. I want to sell them Hawaii. They own it already. Let them pay the unemployment insurance. As a matter of fact, I wrote that down in the book many, many, many years ago. That book's copyright 1971. I wrote it in 1970. I was in Hawaii in the late 60s. And they were buying everything at the time. It seemed that they owned it. Now, what do I want to sell them? 9 square yards for a flagpole. Would they give me $1 trillion yen for 9 square yards for a flagpole next to ours? All right, the Hawaiians, it's up to them, you know, when you stop and think about it. I'm sure that the 100 or 200,000 Japanese living there in retirement would immediately try to become American citizens so they could vote that it should be a free state in the Pacific, and they would elect representatives to Japan and representatives to here. It would be a crossroads. It would be tariff-free. The Hawaiian people would love it. Japanese people would carry our goods back to Japan. I'm talking about only 9 square yards for a flagpole, and I'm only talking about the mainland, and English will be the official tongue, and we own Pearl Harbor, and they wouldn't want to take it from us anyway, and we still own Waikiki Beach. The Japanese would answer me, check or cash. If I merely offered it to them, their whole trade ideas will change. The Japanese are spending $275 million in the Pacific to try to build around 2 rocks in the Pacific where there's room for 9 seagulls. They're trying to make it like it's an island. So the Japanese, what the Japanese do is they slaughter the whales. And they're slaughtering whales, and we can't do anything about it because we owe them so much money. When I am nominated by both parties, and I seek the nomination of both parties, then I will deliver to the Japanese embassy that if there are any whales, any whaling ships that are on the ocean when I take office, that those ships the crews are going to be taken off and those ships are going to be sunk, that they better get all their whaling ships off. Because the whale, on the first page of Genesis, it says, great whales shall thrive. The whale, the Leviathan, my name, Lev, short for Levin's son. I represent the whales. The whales keep the ocean clean. That's what they do. Those giant whales, they eat krill all day long. Were they not there, the krill would rise to the sea top. It would be 80 feet deep with krill. And then how could the sun perform its role in the evaporatory process of heaven's formation, the clouds that are Earth's blanket? When the whales are gone, we're done. When the whales are gone, we're done. Every whaling ship has to be stopped immediately. That's how serious it is.